Everyone, good day to you all. This is the Crypto Prophets. Click on that subscribe button to enable you get notified anytime I drop video contents like this. And without wasting much time, let's hop in straight into the charts. Alright guys, so I have a very important information to share with as many of you that are watching this video. Please kindly take note of this information I'm about sharing, because you are not going to find this information easily out there. You are not going to find this information. As a matter of fact, the Crypto Prophet is amongst the few persons that has access to this information and that can provide you with this accurate information and updates that is going to help you and that is going to change the lives of as many persons that heed to this instruction. Now I'm going to take a little time and explain certain aspects of the charts for you all to enable you have a very good understanding of what I expect to play out in the future. Take note of this, guys. You are not going to find this information easily. And as a matter of fact, even if you do find this information, the exact calculations, the exact points, the way the charts is going to react, the pivot points in the market is going to be difficult for you to trace out, except if you're highly experienced like the Crypto Prophets. So kindly take note of this video, because this video is going to help as many of you that are watching this video. Alright guys, now this is the S&P 500. Remember I told you all, I said the stock exchange markets, 95% of people who are in the crypto space do not understand that the stock exchange markets is the key to the financial markets. Every other market follows the stock exchange market. The stock exchange market is a very big market, carries trillions of dollars inside it, and it has been in existence for more than 120 years. So when the stock exchange market speaks, every other market needs to obey. So these persons that are currently in the crypto space, mostly this new generation, they just think the crypto space is just all about the crypto space. It's just all about buying coins and selling coins. They do not understand that the traditional markets work hand in hand with the crypto space. All these things are interrelated. And this is why you need to be experienced if you're working with the financial markets. And this is what makes people like the Crypto Prophets very unique, because I don't just stop in crypto, but I also take a look at the financial markets. I take a look at other traditional markets as well to determine what wants to take place. And with the kind of information that I'm carrying, guys, anyone who follows me would sure make it in the future. I'm telling you all this because what I share with you, you're not going to see it out there. This is one of the few channels that you have on YouTube that blends the crypto space with the traditional markets, giving you very accurate information that always comes to pass. So this is why you need people like the Crypto Prophets in this journey. I do not see crypto as a game. I see it as a journey. It's a financial journey. It's taking us somewhere. So most times on the road, it can get bumpy. Most times on the road, there can be confusion. Most times on the road, there can be lots of hurdles. But you would find out that at the end of the day, if you're able to stick to that which is right, you would see that you would get the good results that you need. So this is why you need people like the Crypto Prophets. Now let's enter into the charts, guys. I have taken my time to give you an introduction, but I pray that as many of you who watch this video, the eyes of your understanding should be opened so that you can understand the information I'm releasing to you all, because my videos are always very deep. My videos are always very educative. My videos are always very informative. My videos are always targeted towards revealing deep secrets that you are not going to find out there easily, to the T. So guys, this is the S&P 500, and currently the stock exchange markets, the S&P 500 exceeded its all-time high. Like I spoke about some weeks back, I told you all, I said let's watch out for the stock market to exceed its all-time high. And remember, I told you all, I said Bitcoin is a parabolic asset. Bitcoin moves in a much more faster way than the stock exchange markets, and this is what a whole lot of persons do not understand. So whenever the stock exchange market moves, Bitcoin moves faster. The crypto space moves faster because it is more volatile, okay, than these traditional markets. So the Nasdaq attained a new all-time high. The Dow Jones, the US 30, obtained a new all-time high. Left with the S&P 500, left with the Russell. The Russell is yet to make a new all-time high. The Dow Jones made a new all-time high, but we saw that the S&P 500 was still lagging behind, and Bitcoin as well was still lagging behind to make a new all-time high. The last previous all-time high of Bitcoin was around $69K to $70,000. That was the last all-time high of Bitcoin. But you see, Bitcoin only pumped and touched $48,000 without exceeding its all-time high. When I mean exceeding its all-time high, I mean pumping up to $69,000 to $70,000. Listen guys, you see this information I'm releasing for you all? As many of you that are sensitive, as many of you that are wise and intelligent and able to decipher what I'm releasing to you, you are going to make money from this information. You're not going to find this information easily. And as a matter of fact, if you do find this information, you are going to pay heavily for it, because this is what lots of billionaires and millionaires around the world that trade the financial markets are looking for. And this is why you need people like the crypto prophets that carries very good information that can change the life of anyone who follows that which he says. Now, I'm telling you all that Bitcoin has not yet exceeded its all-time high due to the hype of the ETF, okay? But now the market seems to be following a certain pattern, and I'm going to explain this pattern to you all. Now, can you see this line here? Let's take a look at this line. Let's color it orange. Can you see this orange line here? This represents the S&P 500. Now, when the S&P 500 had an encounter with this line, the S&P, let's color this line again. This line here, when it had an encounter with this line here, this was line A. We saw that it dropped. This was on the 12th of October 2022. The S&P 500 found its bottom here, and then we saw this rally up. The S&P 500 had a rally from this end to this end. That's around 42%. So this explains why Bitcoin pumped all the way from $15,000 up to around $21,000, which I was expecting for it to have some retracement at some point before the ETF news took over, and then we had the hype and all that. But now, if you take a look at this trend line, let me color it with green. Let's color it with green so that you don't get confused. Can you see this trend line here, guys? I expect the S&P 500 to come back and retest this green trend line. Now, I'm looking at two lines that the S&P 500 would come back to take. I'm looking at this white line here, and I'm looking at this green line here. These two lines, I'm expecting the stock exchange markets to come down and retest these two lines, because already we are encountering a form of resistance up here. There's a very strong resistance up here, and the market is stopping. The stock exchange market is stopping to crater down. We are going to see this market crater down, coming down to touch either this white line or this green line. Any of these two lines, guys, within few days, this is going to top out. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at this week. This new week that we are in, the stock exchange market is getting set to top out. So when this market tops out, guys, it's going to retrace, come down, touch this point. When it breaks this point, it is heading down to this point here, which I expect it to break. And when it breaks this point, it is coming down here to touch this white line. Okay, so if we calculate the percentage from here to here, it is around 8%. Then if we calculate it down to this green line, it is around 12% approximately. So approximately we are looking at a decline of 8% to around 12% thereabouts for the stock exchange market, and 8% to a 12% correction is coming for the stock exchange market, guys. And when this takes place, this is going to affect the crypto space. I'm telling you all this. Please take note of the information I'm dropping. Now, guys, let's check something. I want you all to check something. Now, the S&P 500 came down and touched this green line. This was on the 25th of October, 2023. And it pumped all the way to this point. Let's calculate the percentage, the pump. Look at this. It pumped all the way by 19.73%, or let's just say 19% pump for the S&P 500 from when? The 26th of October up to the, okay, let's say from the 26th of October up to let's check this out, up to the 29th of December. Let's take these points, guys. Let's calculate this. All the way from here, October 26th, down to this point, it was around 16% correction to around 27th of December. Let's check what happened with Bitcoin. I need you all to understand something very, very important. I need you to understand this because this is really going to help you. Now, guys, on the 26th of October, this was where Bitcoin was. And on the 27th of December, this is where Bitcoin was. So the stock market pumped by around 16%. Let's calculate the percentage that Bitcoin pumped by. Bitcoin pumped by approximately 32%. Can you see this? Approximately 32%. Now, please take note of this. The crypto prophet is not saying for every 16% that the stock exchange market pumps, Bitcoin will pump 32%, because most of you that watch these videos and encounter these calculations, if you've observed, I am always very calculative in my videos. I give you figures. So if you're not mathematically inclined, if you're not good with numbers, you would always assume that this is how it needs to be. This is why you need experience. Okay, so I'm not telling you that for every 16% that Bitcoin, the stock market pumps, Bitcoin will pump by a percentage of, let's calculate that again, a percentage of roughly 32%. No, but I'm giving you a mental picture for you to know how far Bitcoin moves. So guys, if the stock market is to have a correction of 12%, so roughly Bitcoin should be having a much more greater correction. So currently, guys, Bitcoin is having a resistance at this area. And remember, I told you all, I said if we pump and break this point, then we are heading up to $45,000. But now Bitcoin is at the verge of having a lower high. This is a lower high. I told you we are coming back to take out this line. If we take out this line, you will see Bitcoin drop below $39,000. It is heading down to $36,000, $35,000. Please watch this video because this video is going to help you. So let's assume the stock exchange market is dropping by 10%, guys. If it's dropping by 10% to 13%, let's calculate 10% to 13% from this point. If we are dropping by 10%, it's taking us around $38,000 from here, which is highly unlikely because Bitcoin is going to drop more faster. And it is going to drop more than the stock exchange markets because the markets are very volatile. Okay, So let's just assume we are going to drop and have an encounter with this line here, and this is going to take us to around a percentage of 17%, which is around $35,000. So you all can see that $35,000 is inevitable for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to get to $35,000, guys. Now, let me explain this. If we have, let's say, a 20% drop for Bitcoin, if the stock market should drop by around 8 to 12% or 13%, let's say roughly we are going to have a 20% correction for Bitcoin, and 20% correction for Bitcoin from this point is going to take us to roughly around $34,000. So now I'm coming to tell you all this. Please take note of my words. Take note of my words. There is no liquidity around all these areas. This is the area I am looking at for the liquidity for Bitcoin, around $32,000 to $29,000. Why $29,000? Because this line here, this trend line here extends to this angle. Okay, so within this range, this is where I expect Bitcoin to find some supports around this range corresponding with this trend line here. Okay, this trend line here. Remember, all these calculations are drawn, all these calculations are calculated. They are all calculated by me. This is why you need the crypto prophets to put you through and to guide you on what is coming, guys. So this is what I'm expecting. I'm expecting Bitcoin to drop down from this point to around 20, between 32, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, $27,000 thereabouts. And this is the angle I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm looking at a 30% correction for Bitcoin, guys. And when we do have this correction, then the market would find supports and it would start pumping again. But now where you need the services of the crypto prophet is to tell you the exact points that the market is gonna pivot when we do get there. But now, do you know, guys, that it can even be more scary? The drop can even extend down to around $19,000. Anything is possible. Okay, anything is 100% possible because of the way this pump of the ETF came. Anything is possible, guys. The market can decide to drop all the way from here and even break down to this point at around $19,000 for Bitcoin. It is highly possible. Okay, and when that happens, I am looking at this. Don't forget what I've told you. This is the first case. This is the first case. $29,000, 3027. And this is the second case. This is the second scenario down here. Okay, around $20,000 to $19,000. Now, guys, the reason why this can get to $19,000 is because the stock exchange markets is not as volatile as the crypto markets. So a 10% drop in the stock exchange market can lead Bitcoin to more than a 40% drop, because Bitcoin is very volatile and very parabolic. So this is why I need you all to prepare your minds for what is coming. Okay, the Crypto Prophets channel is amongst the few channels on earth that you're going to find this kind of accurate information. Search the whole of YouTube. You're not going to see anybody talking about this the way I'm speaking about it right now and explaining it to you. You're not going to find it easily. So guys, this is my target, and you would need me to give you this information, to tell you what is happening, tell you the pivot points, tell you when next to short, tell you when next to long. You're going to need all this information. Now let me get into the last part of this video that is going to help you who is watching this video right now. Now listen, When we have a retracement for Bitcoin and we get to around 32 to 27 or $28,000 thereabouts, and the S&P 500 finds its bottom and begins pumping again. Let's check it. S&P 500 finds its bottom and begins pumping again, and you see the market retrace back from here. Now let's assume the market gets to this point. Anything is possible. It can find a bounce from here. If it finds a bounce from here, then Bitcoin has a possibility of pumping higher and even exceeding $50,000. And if that happens, I'm going to enter into a long position. Remember, I told you all this in my last video. Go watch my last video. I told you guys, I said it will get to a point that you will see Bitcoin pump and people are going to get deceived again. Possibly the hype of the the hype of the Bitcoin halving is what can also trigger that. This is why the year 2024 is very, very trickish. It can pump and exceed. It can drop, exceed, pump again, exceed $50,000 this time. People will be so happy, jubilating and all that. And of course, I am going to take advantage of that move. And then by the time it starts dropping again, we are coming down lower. You will see Bitcoin down to lower prices that will shock the whole world. And you will see Bitcoin enter 15, 13, $12,000, even $10,000, $8,000 in the future. This is going to shock lots of persons. Why? Because of the particular season that the stock exchange market is entering. What people do not understand is that the stock exchange market has entered into a bubble. There is a recession coming for the US. These charts are screaming for a recession for the United States of America. So when you hear people telling you that there is no possibility that Bitcoin will drop to $15,000, anybody you hear saying that, just know that that person is a novice. Know that that person doesn't know what he or she is doing. You know, they're just the new versions of people that talk about the crypto space without understanding exactly what is going on. So guys, if the stock market should break these points, now for Bitcoin to find support at around $29,000 to $30,000 thereabout, or $27,000 thereabout, it will be dependent on how the stock exchange market maintains this trend line here. Can you see this trend line, guys? Let me still color it again. Can you see this particular trend line? It would be dependent on how the stock market maintains this trend line. But if the stock market should break this trend line here and come down, then you're going to see Bitcoin plunge down to around 13 to 12 to $10,000. This is coming from the crypto prophets. Take note of these words. But if you do not see this happen, then that means we will find some support and then pump again, and then you will see Bitcoin dropping. So in essence, in general, the general view, the general conclusion of this video is this. Listen to my words. We are going to have a drop in the month of February. But I'm not going to give you the levels. If you need the levels, join my paid channel. Subscribe, come into my paid channel, you will get the information. We would drop in the month of February. Around the ending of February into March thereabouts, Bitcoin will find some support and pump again. But this will be dependent on this trend line here for the S&P 500. If we break this trend line, then the drop would continue. But I expect us to drop in the month of February, find some support maybe towards ending of February into March, pump again. That would solemnly be dependent on this trend line. If we don't break this trend line, then we can pump again and you would see Bitcoin heading towards $48,000, $50,000 thereabouts. But if we break this trend line, guys, we're going to drop more lower. So if we maintain this trend line, we would drop to around, let's say, 30,000, 29, 27 thereabouts. We can even get to 25. It all depends, because as it happens, I would know. We can get there, have some form of retracement, pump again. People are going to get more sucked in, and the pump can last for the next 2 months thereabouts, or even 3 months. People would ride in the monies and all that, and then the market is going to crater again, and this cratering is going to bring us to lower prices. So please guys, take note of this information. Follow the crypto prophets, follow my updates. I am going to give you all updates as it comes, and we are going to be amongst the people that would benefit from these moves. Remember, the crypto prophet is one of the skilled persons online on planet Earth that has access to these informations, has the ability to call dates, has the ability to call time. So if you need to work with the crypto prophet and get this information, look for ways and connect with the crypto prophets. Find the informations below, guys, and we take it up from there. Thank you so much, guys. See you in my next video. Watch out for my next updates. I remain the crypto prophet. God bless you. Thank you.